Today I'm going to guide you through the brand new game mode in the Division 2 Descent. Hey, what's up everyone? First of all, thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to hit like and share to support it. Subscribe if you're new here for more content from myself. And at the end of the video today, we have a great community. You can come and check us out. It's linked at the top of the video description. So this video today, we're taking you through the new Descent game mode on the Division 2. It's a rogue-like game mode, and it's part of the PTS phase that is going on right now. The PTS is a public test server, which enables players that play the game on PC to download, log in, and give things a test and feedback on their thoughts and bugs and things like that. So it's not the final product is what I'm saying, and before it's released in early June this year, there's probably going to be some changes and bug fixes, and with that said, we're still able to give you a guide on it today just to explain exactly what this mode is, what it entails, and just to give you a bit of an opinion on it as well, because it's super fun. So what is Descent? It's a rogue-like game mode. It's completely separate to your normal sort of progression in the Division 2. You leave your inventory at the door. You're not taking no builds in with you or anything like that. You're going to start this mode, and every single time you start it, you'll be starting it from scratch. There'll be some progression-based system, which we will go over throughout this system, where you can kind of improve your startup of the mode, and there's progression as you go through the mode. And the aim of it is to go as far as you can. You're eventually gonna get to the boss, which is your Nemesis, which is on screen now. And once you defeat that, you have the option to start again, come out of the mode, or you can continue on in an infinite mode where you just challenge yourself, see how high a level you can get. So it's very similar to that of Resistance in the Division 1 in that respect, where you're looking to get to the highest sort of wave level. And it's got some underground sort of vibes to it as well, and even survival vibes at times. I'm going to cover it all in this video and let you know exactly what is entailed. So first things first, how do you start Descent? Well, from your game, once you're logged in, if you just bring up the map, just like everything else on the game, raids, countdown, summit, Descent is just an off-site activity. You can find it over here, near to where countdown is and near to where the summit is. So you're just going to click on Descent here, and you're able to fast travel there to start your game. It is worth mentioning that Descent can be played solo or in a group, and once you're inside Descent, you cannot make adjustments to your squad. So if you're wanting to play with some friends or in a group, you're going to want to get your group sorted before you head in there. And once you are in there, if you do suffer anything unfortunate, like someone gets crashed or delted, they're not able to get back in with you. This is how it is at the minute on the PTS. Hopefully they do make some adjustments to this before it does go live, because it's quite annoying when you get quite a high level, someone disconnects and they can't get back in with you. So when you first load into Descent, you're going to get this pop up on screen. Descent, how it plays. It says, welcome to the simulation. What Descent is, it is a simulation for agents. That's how it kind of works in games. It's like a training simulation that you go into and you train. It says, agent, choose a weapon and a skill. Take turns in selecting a room. Each room has a different difficulty rating and provides rewards. Earn talents, battle powerful HVTs in arenas, and keep pushing forward until you face the ultimate challenge, the Nemesis. So each room that you enter features a talent console that unlocks after defeating all of the enemies. You choose your talent and you start construction of a powerful build to take on the Nemesis. You can stack the same talent more than once for upgraded effects, and it gives you an example there of the Gunslinger talent at tier 1. If you were to keep on getting the Gunslinger talent at the end of each room, you can keep on stacking this to tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, improving the effectiveness of that talent. And once I've already stated, you can continue your run after you defeat the Nemesis to see how far you can go. Exclusive rewards await you at the top of the leaderboard. Good luck, agent. And this is the room that you're starting. There's a console which you got to interact with to start. There's nothing much going on right now. You can bring up your options and go to social. If anyone is online, you can attempt to invite them, but you can't. As I said, there's no way of doing that once you're inside here. So if you do enter solo, you are solo. So let's begin this. First thing you're going to do is choose a weapon and a skill. So this is what the console looks like. You'll get one of these in every single room that you complete, and you'll be able to interact with it. Now, in this room here, like in the lobby part of it, it's always going to give you an option of either a weapon or a skill. And the first choice that you make, you can pick both. So this is going to be completely random. It'll always be grey, and you have to get a bit of RNG, really. If you don't get anything you want, you could always restart at this point, I guess. But I've got a military P416, so I'm going to select that and put it in my main slot. I also get to choose a skill at this point, so I can have a blinder, jammer, or a reviver right now. That's pretty decent, to be honest with you. We're going to go the reviver hive and put it in that slot. Now, as you go through this game mode, you will get to interact with this one every single time you complete like a main arena, and it's not going to allow you to choose a weapon and skill in the future though through this mode. So this is the only time you can do that. Every other time you're only able to choose one, either a weapon or a skill. And from here, you're also going to have this shop. As you go through the mode, you'll be earning some currency. We've got none right now, but you'll be able to interact with this shop, and you're going to be able to upgrade things to make things a little better and improve your build, improve your ammo capacity, and things like that. So now the first thing we've got to do, once we've selected our weapon, we've selected our skill, we've got a time to restock here. So just hit restock and move forward. And you've got 3 rooms, and you can see there's different difficulty. There's like easy there, 2 easy rooms, and we got a hard room. You'll notice the colors around the rooms as well. So on this room, it's going to be easy. You can see you're going to get 250 currency for completing it, and the heat gauge there of 6% is your gauge towards the Nemesis. You need to reach 100% heat gauge to unlock the Nemesis to fight them. And the easier rooms give you more of a gauge. So that's going to give us 6% there. If we go over to this room over here, which is more difficult, you'll notice that the heat gauge for the Nemesis is lower. And there's a good reason for that, and there's a good way of doing it. We'll explain the best way and most efficient way of doing this now. But the heat gauge here for the Nemesis is only 4% on the medium one. If you do a hard room, I think it's only 3%. So as you go through this mode, one of the best things to do really, if you want to get yourself most prepared for the Nemesis, is to go for the more difficult rooms. You're not going to unlock the Nemesis as quick, because it'll take longer to get the gauge to 100%, but you are going to earn more currency doing it that way, and you're going to get more perk unlocks, which will make you more ready for the Nemesis encounter. It's a tough encounter. Think of rogue agents, think of hunters. It's on that level. So if you keep on going for the easy rooms, you're going to get less currency, you're going to get less talent unlocks, and you're going to unlock the Nemesis much quicker. You're going to be less ready for that encounter. So you've kind of got to like manage it yourself as you're going through, and see how happy you are with the build that you're creating among your team to decide whether you want to bring that Nemesis quicker or keep on doing hard rooms to kind of delay it to keep on improving your build, if that makes sense. Now the other thing to discuss is like these colored icons around a room. You can see here we got 2 blue and a yellow. What that means is at the end of this room, my choices are going to give me 2 blue and a yellow for talents. There's loads of like yellow talents, there's loads of blue talents, and there's red talents. So offensive, defensive, and utility. So if you're looking for offensive talents, this room probably might not be for you. You might choose to go for this easy room. I'm going to increase the gauge a bit more for the Nemesis. But at the end of this room, I'm going to get 3 options of offensive talents. So that's the one we're going to choose for now. It's going to give me 250 credits. I'll get 6% heat gauge towards the Nemesis. And at the end, we'll get 3 options of an offensive talent. As you enter a room, you'll notice that there's doors with like red highlighted markers on them. That means that enemies can spawn in them. There's 3 doors that they can spawn from. So in every room, there's multiple doors, and there's only 3 that enemies will spawn from. When you're in a group, it's a great idea to kind of like, especially when you get to later levels, leave someone outside the room while the other members run in. They can see where the red doors are, and they can pick a good position in the room for you to fight from. Then the final person can run in then, and then the countdown will start and you can get in position. When you're playing solo, you can't do that. So as you do enter every room, you want to quickly find out where the spawn points are, just so they don't catch you off guard. Once the room is complete like it is now, you'll notice this console is here again, and this is now the talent console. So I'm going to get a talent, and here are my 3 offensive talents that it's given me. So I can go for close and personal, there's sadist, and there's optimist. If something's there that you don't want, so you want something else, you can re-roll the talents. I can press R here. I can re-roll that. It'll cost me 250 credits, which I just got for completing that room. It'll give me 3 other options. You are able to re-roll. If even then, you don't want to take anything off that. It's not giving you anything you want. You can skip your choice and it will give you 250 credits back. I do like Optimist though, so we're going to select Optimist, which is weapon damage is increased by 3% for every 10% ammo missing. And that's going to be added to my build. You'll notice here that I've got 3 slots. I've already got 1 perk or talent unlocked here. That's because I have unlocked a perk from the vendor outside of the mode that enables me to start with 1 random talent. I will be showing you that vendor soon. So we've got Spark already, and I've got 2 more slots I can use with more slots I can unlock. We're going to just equip that there, and now that's equipped. And I'm ready to carry on. So you just now go on to the next room. And now it's just the same again. We've got 2 rooms to choose from. There's a hard room there with 2 offensive and a defensive. And we've got an easy room with utility and offensive. Now, if you're in a group at this point, what's really good is it rotates through the group members on who gets to choose the room. So I may have got to choose the first room, but then my teammate is going to get to choose the next room, and so on until it cycles back around to me, which is really good. It allows, especially if matchmaking is a thing when it comes out, it allows you to make a choice as to what you want for your build. We're going to go for the easy room again. We're going to interact with it, and it's exactly the same again. We're going to run in here. We're going to find out where the spawn points are. We're going to have a look around at the doors. And there we go. There's another room completed. We've got another console to interact with, and as the room stated, I've got an option of an offensive talent or 2 utility talents. This time I've got Sadist, Trauma, or Restorative. So we're going to re-roll this time to show you how that works. I've re-rolled. It's now giving me the option of Obliterate, Opportunistic, or Skilled. I think I could just keep on re-rolling the items if I want to, but it will cost me more currency each time that I do that. But I like Obliterate, so we're going to take Obliterate and we're going to fill it in that slot there. I'm now full on slots for my offensive right now. I need to unlock more slots when I can. So let's continue. So we're going to move on to the next room now. This is the 3rd room in level 1. And again, it'll work exactly the same. You're going to come here and it's going to give you some options. We've got a hard room with 2 defensive and a utility. An easy room with 2 defensive and a utility. We'll go for the easy one again. In the top right hand corner, you can see my Nemesis percentage is already 12%. Once I complete this one, I'm going to get a further 6%, making it 18%. I've also got 250 credits still. And there's a number 12 next to the credits. That is your currency for outside of this game mode. You take that currency with you, and there's a vendor that you can buy extra perks from, which we'll discuss later on in this guide. For now, we're going to go back in to this room, but this time just notice that there's also a supply shop. So we're going to get 250 currency for this. There's a supply shop at the end, which I'll show you, and we're going to get 6% towards the Nemesis. So let's go. And there we go. The room is complete. So as always, we are going to be able to get a talent. We've also got the supply shop here. So let's have a look at the supply shop. Because ammo, grenades, armor kits, all things like that, they are limited in this game mode. Once you use them, they're not just going to drop on the floor like they do outside of the mode. You got to buy them back. So every few rooms, you will have a supply drop, and it'll enable you to do that, but it is going to cost you the in-game currency. So I'm using an assault rifle right now. When I get to this point, I've got to decide whether I need that or not. You can see I've only got 308 rounds left. I'm probably going to want some more assault rifles. So I'm going to buy that for 240 credits. I've got 260 left. I've used an armor kit, so I'm also going to replace that. And now I'm out of cash. Got 10 credits, can't do much. But other things that you can buy from this when you do start saving a good amount of currency is you can get some special ammo. Explosive rounds, high velocity, incendiary, taser, hollow point rounds, and this is highly advisable, especially when you get to the harder stages. Taser rounds can prove absolutely clutch, so make sure you're using this shop. And again, we're going to get a talent unlock, so let's go over to the talent console and see what's on offer. It's offering us protective reload, trauma, or bloodsucker. Bloodsucker's quite a good survivability talent, so we're going to throw that on. So we are nearly ready now to finish off level 1. We've got one more room. We're going to take on this room here. After this, we are going to have the arena. So with the room complete, I got one more talent unlocked. So we're just going to select that. I've got Vigilance, which I like this time. Now the problem is I haven't unlocked more slots yet. So what happens when you do that? Well, Spark was given to me as a random talent for a perk that I had. I'm not necessarily happy with Spark. So what I can do is I can overwrite them. So I'm able to put vigilance on and take spark off, just like that, replace and equip. So you can change things as you go if you're making decisions and you want to change your mind. And then finally, we're now up to the arena. It says prepare for the arena. You won't have options of rooms when you get to the arena. This is like the last level for the level that you're on. So level 1, this will be the last room. There'll be a boss in here that we need to kill. It gives you a nice amount of currency for completing this. We're going to get 700 currency. And we're going to get 10 NSA tech. Again, that is the currency you can use outside of the mode to improve this game experience. So we're going to go in here now, and it's the same as normal though. You're going to go in a room, you're going to scout out the spawn points, make sure you get yourself in a good position so you don't get ambushed, and you're just going to clear all the waves of enemies, including the boss. A good thing to take note of is in the top left corner, if there are multiple waves, it will tell you. So as you go further in this mode and go into further higher levels, if there are like 2 waves, it will say 0 out of 2 or 0 out of 3 or however many waves that it gives you. You can keep an eye out on that just so that when the ads do spawn, you don't get yourself into a bad position where they're going to spawn back on top of you. This isn't the way in the boss room though, the arena room. It isn't going to tell you how many waves there are, so just bear that in mind. There'll always be multiple waves in the arena room, even though it doesn't show you. After you complete your first arena room on level 1, every time you're going to be offered an exotic talent. So you can interact with this console. You can skip this if you want, but that would be silly because exotic talents are the best in this mode and you can get some real cool ones. So you can't re-roll these, unfortunately, but you're definitely going to take advantage of them. So what they're offering me for this one is the Busy Little Bee exotic talent. I've got the Brief Free exotic talent from the Lady Death there. And Blind Justice. I've not seen this exotic talent in the game before, where after destroying an enemy's weak points or hostile electronics, my next bullet deals 500% weapon damage. That might be on a new exotic that's coming. I'm not sure. So pick whatever exotic talent that you want. I'm going to go for the Lady Death one. I quite like that. But one that you do want to look out for, and I highly recommend, is the Bullet King exotic talent, where you don't need to reload. That stuff is OP. And once you've selected an exotic talent, you have 3 slots. This is the beautiful thing about this mode. Eventually, as you carry on, you're going to be able to equip 3 different exotic talents. So we're just going to equip that in there. And that is now the end of level 1. We still get some more stats though. So right next to the exotic talent there, at the end of an arena room, rather than giving us a extra talent, you get stats. And you can get either an offensive stat, defensive, or utility. How offensive works is it gives you an extra 10% weapon damage. Defensive gives you 20% armor. And you can get skill tier. Skill tier, you can go to a maximum of 6. You can't go above that. But with offensive and defensive, I don't know what the cap on that is. I know Milkman went over 100% weapon damage. I got to 100% weapon damage and like 60% armor. So just choose wisely as you go, and you're going to have this option at the end of every arena room, which is at the end of every level. We're going to go offensive for this one. And with that done, you get to continue on with your next run and finish off level 1 and move on to level 2. So when you move on from level 1 to level 2 and you move between levels, you come back to this sort of lobby area. Unlike when you first started here though, there is a bit more to do now, and you can spend some currency because you've got this shop, and you also have a choice of weapon or skill again, as I mentioned earlier, but you can't choose both this time. So get weapon or skill. You can see if you've got an improvement. It's giving me a lightweight M4 here, a Distress, or a first wave. I can go over to my skills, a Demolisher, Burster, or Oxidizer. As I can only choose one, quite happy with my Revive 5, so I'm definitely going to pick another weapon. We'll go lightweight M4, and we're going to put that in the secondary slot. What you'll also want to do is check out the shop before you move on, because here, just like in the rooms, it's going to give you an opportunity to buy stuff. But at this shop, it improves your game experience. So you notice those offensive talent slots that I had. If I bring up my build very quickly, we filled them out. We got Vigilance, we got Optimus, we got Obliterate there, and the others are locked. I've still got space on my defensive, I've still got space on my utility. But if we go to this shop, what I can do with the credits that I've got, if I earn enough, so maybe play some more harder rooms, because we stayed on easy that time. As you can see, I haven't got enough credits for any of these, but if I played harder rooms, I would have. I can unlock extra offensive talent slots, extra defensive talent slots, and extra utility talent slots. So you can get all those unlocked, which further improves your build as you go into the higher levels. I can increase my ammo capacity so I can carry more ammo. I can increase my medkit capacity, my grenade capacity, and I can give myself an extra weapon choice and an extra skill choice. What this means is when we get to this area after every level and we go to select a weapon or skill, you may have noticed that each one had a slot locked out. It just opens up that slot just to give you a better chance of RNG. So rather than having 3 weapons and skills to choose from, you'll have 4 weapons and skills to choose from. So that's what that does. And the aim as you go through this mode is basically to get all this unlocked. By the time I got, I'd say, to around about the Nemesis or just after, all I had left really was the hazard reduced chance, which is something it reduces the chance of hazards on your next run basically. And I had everything unlocked, and we were doing hard rooms, and that's why we were able to do that. We were earning enough currency to buy everything. You really do want to make your decisions wisely, because by the time you get to Nemesis, you kind of want all these unlocked, so you got some better builds. While we're here, you can also restock. You don't need to buy ammo at this point. It's a nice chance to get some free ammo. We have a restock box here. We got an armor restock box, so make sure you're hitting all these and you're looting all these, and then it's the same old. So level 2, it's exactly the same again, just more difficult. As you go up in level, the game becomes more difficult, but it's the same old. You'll be selecting rooms, making decisions, and you'll be getting more harder difficulty rooms like that one over there. You can even have random boss spawn rooms. So like in the arena where you have a boss spawn, you can have a room where you just have a random boss spawn give you basically more currency and more risk. And that is how the game mode works in a nutshell, really. You just keep on going level to level, improving your build the best that you can, making the decision on whether to take on easier rooms, harder rooms for more currency. And when you reach 100% Nemesis heat gauge, you're gonna have the Nemesis encounter. You're gonna have to finish off that level though. It won't happen instantly. You will reach 100%. You'll have to finish off that level, get the arena done, and then it'll bring you into this instance where you take on your Nemesis. Now, this will scale depending on how many people you got in your group. So if you're solo, you just have 1 of them. If you're in a group of 4 like we were, you're going to have 4 of them. They're a difficult challenge, and I highly recommend doing some harder rooms to get more currency, to get your builds better. It's RNG based as well. You might not have luck while you're playing through this mode, so you might need more options as you're going through to get your build good enough for your Nemesis. If you keep on going on easy rooms and you unlock the Nemesis quicker and the RNG is bad at the same time, you could very well much be underpowered for this encounter. So just think about that while you're going through this mode. And once you kill your Nemesis, it'll come up Nemesis defeated, and you're able to have a look at your simulation results. So you can see here my build, what it looked like as going against that Nemesis. We had Vigilance 2 stacked, Obliterate 2 stacked, Optimist 2 stacked, Composure 2 stacked, Preservation was 5 stacked, Bloodsucker 5 stacked, we had Trauma stacked, Extra stacked. We had a lot of stacked talents. We had the Breathe Free Lady Death exotic talents as well, and we were looking pretty good heading into this fight. It gives us some stats there as well. You can see we completed 3 easy rooms to get to the Nemesis, 11 medium rooms, and 14 hard rooms to get there. And it took us 7 levels to reach the Nemesis. You're going to get there a lot quicker if you just choose easy rooms. But again, it's going to be a lot more difficult if you do it that way. And at this point, you've got an option. You can quit and go back to Washington, D.C. and go again if you want to. Or you can just press escape and close and continue. And what happens is, Descent becomes an infinite game mode. You just continue on now. You've completed your Nemesis, and you just see how far you can get. Every level is going to be increasing difficulty. You can just keep on improving your build to like all sorts of overpoweredness, and see how far you can go. At the time of playing this PTS, when we first played it, I think the highest in the world on PC was one of our TSW members, Ruben, and the Abandoned Mind. In our community, they did it as a duo and they got to level 26. So it does get real hard. There are other things you can do to improve your gameplay experience. Heading back outside the mode, if you bring up your map and just look over to the east there, you're going to see a Descent entrance. So we're just going to run over to that now. It's just outside of the base of operations. And why you want to come here rather than just loading up Descent on your map is because there's a vendor. You've got an NSA station. So we've already mentioned this currency that you earn inside of descent to spend outside. And this is where you spend it. I've already spent all mine. But there's extra perks that you can get to improve your descent experience. So as I already mentioned earlier in the video, I got that extra random, I got the random talent at start perk. So every time I start a game with descent now, I'm given a random talent to start with. That I thought was pretty good. You might get something that you already want on your build, so give you a head start. You can also buy an extra talent choice. So when you're going through each room and it gives you the talent choices, you'll notice there was one tier that was locked. This will unlock that. You need 320 credits to get that, though. That means you'll have an option of 4 choices when you do that. And then you've got an increased exotic chance. So as you're going through, I didn't get a exotic chance again until after the Nemesis. I think I had to get to level 10. So you get your first exotic after you've cleared level 1, and you don't get the next exotic again until you clear level 10. So I'm guessing with an increased exotic chance, you can get this sooner to get more exotic talents on your build. You can get currency gain perks here. 0 out of 5, you can stack that up 5 times. You improve your accuracy for while you're inside the game mode, your critical hit chance inside the game mode, headshot damage, stability. There's some defensive improvements as well. We've got armor on kill that you can stack up. It's 2% per slot there, or point. So in total, you're going to get 20% on armor on kill when you max this out. There's protection from elites as well. Hazard protection, health on kill. We've got some skill damage you can get, skill haste, skill repair, and status effects. So you're going to be going into descent, and you got all those kind of like progression features in that to see how powerful you can get and see how higher level you can get. And then once you've done that and you've died and you've exited the mode, you're then going to have currency to spend to improve your experience, go again, and try and get a higher level. There are leaderboards as well that you can view, and you can try and get world number 1. I guess that would be the ultimate aim, right? But this game mode is brilliant, and when you're in the infinite mode, it's just a point of improving that build and getting as powerful as you can. I think that's where a lot of enjoyment in this mode is going to come from. Once you've unlocked all the vendor perks and you're as good as you can be, and you get some good RNG, and you're stacking and stacking on things that you really like just think of your favorite talents across your weapons and gear pieces, like vigilance, glass cannon, obliterate. There's so many stuff you can link together in this, and you can just keep on stacking on just to become so overpowered. Yes, the enemies are increasing in difficulty as well, but it is such a fun game mode. So much replayability, because every single time you go in, you might want to try something different. Maybe you want to be more of a tank next time, or you want to mix things up a little bit different. Who knows? It's a great game mode. It's really, really fun, and I highly recommend it. At PTS, this was just so much fun. It's getting a lot of good reviews from people playing it, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to getting stuck in. This is a guide for Descent today from myself. I think I've covered everything I could have for you today. I hope it has been helpful for those that are waiting to play this. This comes live in June in Season 1 of Year 5 of the Division 2. It's going to be free to play for everybody. So even if you don't own the Warlords of New York expansion, as long as you own a copy of the Division 2, you are going to be able to play this game mode and enjoy it. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Please don't forget to hit like and share to support it. We are finished now, so subscribe for more content from myself. And now that we are done, come and check out our communities linked at the top of the video description. Until next time, thank you for watching this one. Stay safe and peace out.